Hey guys, it's Mo from Mo in the Deep End, and I thought I would take a couple minutes to give you guys why I think and maybe give Hollywood a little course as to why Daria, the funny, sarcastic, observant girl who notices the injustice of the world and maybe where things aren't fair, worked and had heart and has a loyal following. And well, unfortunately, Velma is getting a second season, but why her snark, wit, and the quirky, odd girl just doesn't flow with her. And I think it all goes down to heart. No one is inherently bad in Daria. Daria makes great pains to show that people are in fact fallible, human. Even Daria, the girl that wears glasses that sees more than others do, she has moral failings. You know, she is concerned about her appearance. She maybe judges people too harshly. Maybe she doesn't give people chances that they really could have if she didn't judge them too quickly, if she didn't look at them and just go based on surface level characteristics. And she learns, she grows. She does some genuinely not good stuff. She steals her best friend's boyfriend. Well, she kisses him when they're currently in a relationship. And it shows that that is bad. The show doesn't go out of its way to take Daria's side on everything. It in fact shows, the parents who on a surface level, you see Jake and you see, the mom. I wanna call her Linda, but y'all know I'm terrible with names. But you see them, and on the surface level, you think, "God, these are parents that are just kind of in their own world," and they don't get it because you are seeing it from Daria's view. But you see parents throughout the entire show that are struggling with this crisis of identity, who have gone from being the rebel, outsiders who had all of these ideals to being a corporate lawyer and a consultant. I mean, the reality of that, how you deal with that, how you deal with growing up and realizing that you're not going to be a freedom fighter, that you're not going to, take marks and run with it, you know, and that they deeply love each other, even though they're deeply flawed human beings. I mean, Jake is a whiny crybaby that is dealing with severe trauma from his childhood, and it sounds like he had a sucky childhood. But in his fumbling way, he is trying to make sure that his daughters don't suffer the trauma he did. He's not the best dad. He doesn't know what he's doing. Hell, none of us parents know what we're doing. But you have these moments in the show where the parents show that they do know their children. They are listening. They are willing to step in there. They hold a mirror up to Daria. Gosh, why is I cannot remember the mom's name to save my life, but she talks to Daria about her being very good at seeing the things that should change, that, she would the injustices that she sees, but where Daria struggles is, what would you like to have happen? What are your dreams? You know, what is it that you would change if you could? And that's why Daria works, because Daria doesn't assume that these people are horrible. They're just human. And Velma assumes that anyone that has dangly bits, isn't Velma, is basically a piece of trash. No one is a good person on that show. No one is, a slightly flawed but human good person that's just aiming for purgatory. And Hollywood, you need to get this. You need to get that people will fall in love with shows if you show people as human, if you give them heart. The quirky, nerdy, sarcastic girl works if she has heart, if she has flaws, if she's willing to grow, and she still maintains those core features, but has personal and, character arcs. What you have with Velma is a girl who thinks she's awesome when she really doesn't have a whole lot to be, proud of, and then continues to think that she's super awesome. That is not an arc. That is not what is gonna get you people that follow you. Daria is still one of my favorite shows because There's growth. There's things that I can watch now as an adult and see the parents. The parents, oh my gosh, they were big punchlines when I first watched it. I was like, "Gosh, these people don't know things, and they're only occasionally on point." But watching it when I have teenagers, I'm like, "Good god, they're trying their best." Jake and I'm gonna say I'm gonna look this up because it's bothering me now. Mom on Daria. I'm such a dingus. You would think that I would know Helen. I Why I wanted to call her Linda, I will never know. But you have these parents. You have the parents in Daria right now. As a parent, I can look at them and think, "You know what? This goes. I can relate to this." And that's how you stay relevant. You stay a show that you can go back at different points in your life and see different things. I don't think anyone's gonna go back and watch Velma and see things differently. I mean, again, you had Helen, a workaholic mother who was, part of the freedom, flower power 60s, 70s, you know, thing that's grown into a high-powered, very, very polished, very professional, you know, lawyer. You've got Jake, who again started life out, when we see him in the show as a freedom loving in flashbacks, but you see him as a freedom loving, kind of flaky, kind of weird kind of guy. Doesn't quite get it. He's always trying to do stuff, but he has a tremendous amount of trauma and anger from his childhood. But you sympathize with him for the most part. He does dingus things, but you sympathize. You know, you have all these lovely characters. You've got Jane, you've got the best friend who has your back even when you do the most awful thing, like maybe kiss her boyfriend. It takes her time, but she's got your back. And and Daria pushes Jane to believe in herself, to put her portfolio in to the art college. These are the things that keep you coming back to a series. The heart, the fallible but lovable characters. You've got Trent, the semi love interest who has Mystic Spiral is going to make it someday. God bless him. It's gonna happen. He is going to be full Trent on Trent. And, there's all these archetypes, but they're not played for laughs. They're not mean-spirited. They're not, you know, "We're gonna show so and so and give them their comeuppance." I mean, even Brittany, the cheerleader whom, you would think there would be they do make jokes at her expense, but she also is given, her own character arcs. She has more than one dimension. I mean, her second and third dimensions are fairly shallow too, but she has them. You cannot have a show where people are just one-dimensional and they're insufferable. It's just there's no way. I will probably put up more side-by-side scenes if this is something you guys are interested in. For some reason, last night at 3 AM, this was a big topic in my brain. Apparently, Mo approved 3 AM topic is why Daria is awesome and why Velma sucks. To be involved in my brain is to be scared by what I think about at 3 AM. But I thought I'd just take this minute to see if anyone was interested and to just kind of air my thoughts on this because I would like my kids to have shows like Daria that they can, come back and watch when they're adults and they still have they hit differently, but they still have that quirky offbeat heart. And at the bottom of that's what Velma and a lot of these shows are missing. You don't have compelling characters who have an arc. You have the girl boss who was awesome and just needed to believe in herself, and then she got awesomer. It's just These are the things that speak to you. These are the things that you carry on into adulthood, and, you'll still buy that T-shirt that has Daria on it because you remember how it made you feel seen when you were that awkward teenager, but it wasn't mean-spirited to the point that everyone is immoral, has terror cannot be redeemed, and must be punished out loud and demeaned and put in their place. That wasn't the kind of comedy they had. They had there were jokes made at other people's expenses, but again, everyone was flawed, and Daria had to learn stuff about herself. She had to grow. She wasn't perfect as she started. She struggled. A lot of her observations was because she couldn't understand how peopling worked. And goodness gracious, when you kind of don't understand how peopling work and you're good at observations, you can throw those one-liners out there, but it's very hard to be introspective and look at how you can change, and Daria was forced to do that on several occasions during several seasons. So, in short, Velma, why did you get a second season? And bring back Daria, but with all the original people, and make Daria a mom struggling with her child, so I have some wisdom, like a teen girl, maybe make her have 6 kids. Look, I'm not throwing out any plot lines, but I just need help with this parenting thing. Anywho, those are my thoughts. I hope you liked them. If you didn't, thanks for watching and, giving me a try. And goodness gracious, if you did like, please subscribe. I'm trying to get better at all these YouTubey things. Please subscribe, please share. But most of all, and most important, have a good day. Be kind to yourself. Sometimes the loudest, most negative voice we have is that one from the person in the mirror, and tell them to GTFO, you're doing your best, and small steps towards being a better human. Spread kindness in with your snark if you can, and have a lovely day. Bye, guys.